Hello, class. So we have been going over the book All Quiet on the Western Front. So now you guys are going to be completing a worksheet in this workbook here. The worksheet you guys will be completing is worksheet 14A. I'm going to focus it here so you can see it. And the worksheet that you'll be using, I hope you completed, is 13A. Okay, so I'm going to go over this with you. So we're going to be completing a worksheet over transitions in writing. So as you read the book, you're going to come over transitions in the writing. That's any book or any text that you read, even in your own personal writing. We want to start seeing you guys use this in your writing, so I'm going to go over it. So you're going to be using the examples for the transition in your writing from 13A to complete 14A in this paragraph, okay? So I'm going to go over each example on 13A so you can understand. Okay, so on 13A, so the function on the left-hand side, the first one is agreement in addition to ideas. So the examples are furthermore, in the same way, likewise, also, in addition to, as well, and especially. Okay, so just an example. My mom likes pizza. I like pizza too, so I'm in agreement with her. Okay. The next box is difference of ideas, like however, although, yet, on the contrary, others say, some might argue, nonetheless, but, on the other hand, instead, rather. Okay, so for example, you can say, I like sugar on grits, but some might argue sugar does not belong on grits. Okay, so that is an example. Sequence or list. This is when you are writing or reading a text that is going off sequence of events. Like first, second, third, afterwards, until, before, meanwhile. So, for example, when I get ready for school, the first thing I do is brush my teeth. The second thing I do is comb my hair. The third thing I do is put on my clothes. And last, I leave out the door. So, you know that is showing a sequence of events in your writing or of course in your reading. The next one is to show significance. uh, Examples are in fact, truly, indeed, without exception, most importantly, or to emphasize. um, for example, you can say, I love Thanksgiving, but most importantly, I love it because I get to see my family. So I'm showing the significance of my love for Thanksgiving. I mean, even though Thanksgiving is an awesome holiday, there's food, but most importantly, I get to be with my family. So that's an example. So cause and effect. As a result, therefore, accordingly, in this case, for this reason. So an example of this, I got in trouble at school. As a result, my mom took my phone. So that's an example. Provide an example is the next function. So um, an example is for example, for instance, to illustrate, including, in particular, for instance, to put another way, that is to say, in fact. So you can say, I love to bake cookies. For instance, I bake cookies every day. Or you can say, I love to roller skate. In fact, I roller skate every day. So that's providing an example of, you of your love of roller skating. Okay, conclusion or summary. So in conclusion, to summarize, in the end, when it's all said and done, finally, all together overall. Like for example, my parents want to move, but I do not. But when it's all said and done, my parents have the final say. Okay? So that's just examples of transitions in writing and how it works. Okay, so we're going to go on to 14A since we went over that information. There are 6. We're going to do the first 2 together, okay? So 14A reads, helplessness is a central idea that explains the experience of the soldiers in All Quiet on the Western Front. Blank, the soldiers do not have control over their actions on the front or in training camp. They are told where to go and what to do by their commanding officers. Blank. They are even made to do pointless drills and exercises that do not prepare them for the harsh life on the front. Okay, so we're going to go back to our key. So for the first one, it says provide an example transition. So we're going to go back to our key on 13A. So the first one says provide an example in transition. So that will be the box, the second from the last box. Provide an example. Let me focus it here. I'm sorry about that. Ooh, it's not focusing. Yeah, here. Okay. So we're going to go on this list. And from what I found, let's see if for example fits. Okay. So helplessness is a central idea that explains the experiences of the soldiers in All Quiet on the Western Front. For example, the soldiers do not have control over their actions on the front or in training camp. That's a good fit. So let's go ahead and write for example. All right. So let's go on to the next one. The soldiers do not have control over their actions on the front or in training camp. They are told where to go and what to do by their commanding officer. So the next one is agreement and addition of ideas. Okay? That is the first box. So I, selected also. So let's see if that fits. Okay. So we're going to start on the sentence that we did ourselves. For example, the soldiers do not have control over their actions on the front or in training camp. They are told where to go and what to do by their commanding officers. Also, they are even made to do pointless drills and exercises that do not prepare them for the harsh life on the front. So those fit. So we have the first one is, for example, sorry about that, for example is backwards, I'm sorry. And the second one is also. So use your key down here to let you know what box you need to use on 13A. And just play around with it. I know my first try, I was able to add the correct transition word, but in your case, if you pick a transition word from the appropriate box and it doesn't sound right, read it out loud to yourself. If it does not make sense to you, it's not going to make sense to me. And you can always select another option. Okay? So just to reiterate, transitions in writing and reading are something you're going to come across, especially in this book. And we want you guys to get familiar with that. So that's why we're having you to do this worksheet. And also, you're going to be expected to do this in your own writing. Okay? All right. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Send me a message or you can ask me in class. And have an awesome, amazing day.